Right. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really sucking the ball. Knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York town. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the people on the streets, where do they go? To meet the Mets. Oh, they're hollering, they're cheering, and they're jumping in their seats. Where do they go? To meet the Mets. All the fans are true to the orange and blue. So hurry up and come on down, 'cause we got ourselves a ball from the Mets of New York town. Give 'em a yell, give 'em a hand, and let 'em know you're rooting and you stand. Come on and meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really sucking the ball. Knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York town. New York town.
Hey, welcome everybody. Doing a oh, wait a second, not yet. All right. This is where I'm at. I'm gonna replay. This is CP Cards and Dice. I'm gonna be replaying the 1969 Mets, and I'm in the process of doing that. So we're in our second series, but right before I get to that using Payoff Pitch, what I want to do is finish up a game using Inside Pitch. We're in the ninth inning. It's we're replaying World Series teams. You can get the World Series teams Inside Pitch for $7 PDF. So I was able to get the Rays and the Philadelphia Phillies, and we're replaying the 2008 World Series. We're in the bottom of the ninth. The Phillies are up, and they're having their last licks, if you will. And the score is 7-2 Tampa Bay, and the Rays lead the series 2-1. So this game will put them up 3-1 if they can hold on to win. It's Dan Wheeler on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays. Dan Wheeler was 5-6 with a 3.12 ERA in 66 innings pitched. He had 13 saves. Doesn't stand to pick up a save here. But he's in there in the ninth. He's going to face Pat Burrell, Shane Victorino, and Pedro Feliz. Now, Pat Burrell is a left fielder. Pat Burrell had a pretty impressive season, hit 33 home runs, batted .250. So a decent season, not too hot in the batting average, but pretty good power production. And then we have Shane Victorino, and we're going to have Pedro Feliz, the third baseman. So this is the final 3 outs for the Philadelphia Phillies. They're down 7-2. This is our replay of the 2008 World Series using Inside Pitch. I want to show a little bit of how to play Inside Pitch, so that's why this is a bonus series. And what I'm going to do is try to do a mini tutorial. So when I have a bonus, I should write bonus tutorial on that. I'll probably change it before I post it on this video. It's going to be, I'm going to do a mini tutorial on what I know so far about the game. And as I do that, I will be commenting and what I think about it. So this will be helpful to those people that are considering picking up another game. All right, so let's start. We're going to do a mini tutorial on Inside Pitch. So if you can see here, and my camera sometimes has an issue when I put my hand under it. It starts kind of, because it's trying to refocus. So anyway, I don't know why it does that. I have to get a different, I'm using a GoPro, and I guess the GoPro that I have just has a pretty good mic. It just is not, I guess, the best quality camera. I'm not too sure, because it shouldn't be doing that. I know my cell phone camera doesn't do that. Anyway, let's roll. So inside pitch, the way you do it is you roll 2 dice. You read the blue first, and then the white. We're going to use a 20-sided die as well to kind of for certain results. So let's roll, and we're going to look at the column of the pitcher and then the row of the pitcher. So let's roll, see what happens. Dan Wheeler. So we rolled a 5 and then a 3. So you move down, it's going to be a potential home run. First, you go to Wheeler's card where it says potential home run. You look at the batter. He's a righty. So right-handed batter, it's 1 to 16. Okay? There is no effect from the ballpark here. It's 0 for home runs. So if it was a ballpark that allows a lot of home runs, then you would see a plus. If it's a ballpark where you get no home runs, like, for example, the Astrodome in 79, which I don't think anybody hit any home runs in that stadium. It was crazy. You would get a negative for home runs in that stadium. In other words, a lot of home runs would not be hit there. So that's the way that works. So let's look and see what the result is. It's going to be a potential home run. So we have to first roll off Wheeler's card, because if he doesn't give up a lot of home runs, well, guess what? Pat Burrell isn't going to get a chance for a home run. All right. But he's 1 to 16, so he did give up some home runs. It doesn't say how many, but it's been factored in. So he's a right-handed batter, so it's 1 to 16. So I'm going to use the 20-sided die. I'm putting these here so I remember in case I have to look back and double-check. That's a 3, so it falls within the 1 to 16 range. So now it could be a home run off Pat Burrell's card. It's not a home run off the pitcher's card automatically because you don't know if Pat Burrell hits any home runs at all, right? Let's say he had 0 home runs, so you still have to roll off Pat Burrell's card. This is a right-handed batter, so he was pretty good against right-handed batters, and that's going to be a 19. A 19 off right-handed batters. So a 19 or less is going to be a home run. So it's pretty easy. So he's going to connect. 19. So had it been a 20, would not have been a home run. So that's a 19. That's a deep drive to left field. Back goes Crawford to the track, and that's gone. Home run for Pat Burrell, making the score 7 to 3. Next batter is Shane Victorino. Now, Shane Victorino's 0 for 3. He struck out, lined out, and flied out in this game. We're in the bottom of the ninth. The score 7 to 3 Rays. Dan Wheeler on the mound for the Rays. Well, here goes another we're got another roll here for the pitcher's card. It's a 4-3. 4-3 is a right-hander K. He's batting from the left side because he's a switch hitter. And it's blank on the left side, so that means we're going to roll on the batter's card. That's going to be a 3-1. A 3-1 is a ground ball at the third baseman, Evan Longoria, who fires to first and gets Shane Victorino. So there's 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. Next batter is Pedro Feliz. He's 0 for 3, lined out, struck out, and grounded out. Feliz batted .249 with 14 home runs, played mostly at third base, and batted only at third base, and played in 133 games. Here's the pitch from Dan Wheeler. All right, a 4-3. Again, a 4-3 is he's a righty this time, so this is going to be a potential K. A potential K, we have to go to the batter's card, and we're going to look in the K section against a right-handed pitcher. It's a 6, but the ballpark says -1, so it's 5. So 5 or less, and it's a strikeout, so 1 strike 3. And Pedro Feliz goes back to the dugout in disgust. So at a high fastball, Dan Wheeler blew it by him. Carlos Ruiz now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth, 7 to 3 Tampa Bay. And Ruiz is 0 for 3. He's grounded out 3 times. So this is who's there? Hey, P. Jet, inside pitch. Your title says payoff pitch. It is payoff pitch, sir. This is a bonus. It's a bonus. I have half an inning of tutorial for inside pitch, and then I'm going to start. I have everything set up to start payoff pitch, and I'm going to transition on camera. It's a new thing I'm trying out. I think it's a lot of fun. All right, so that's why whenever you see bonus, you're going to get like a couple of minutes of something different. So 62, there's 2 outs now in the bottom of the ninth. 7 to 3 Tampa Bay. 62 is a 6, and then a 2 says RP. That's a range play with an at symbol, which means it's going to be a range play off the Citizens Bank Park card. So we're going to roll again a 4-5. and a 4-5 says home run, parentheses, to center field. So now we have to roll on the home run. It's a right-handed batter, 1 to 16, -1 because of the park card. So it's 1 to 15, and it's a potential home run. Now we have to roll off Carlos Ruiz's card, but he doesn't have a lot of power. I'll tell you right now, he doesn't have a lot of power because he has a 3. So against a righty, we're going to have to roll a 3 or less for it to be a home run. And I doubt that's going to happen, but you never know. It's an 18, and that's going to be a fly ball, deep center field. Back goes up into the track, makes the catch, and the game is over. Oh, I have to go back and do that. I forgot to hit center field there. Out, fly ball, center field, game over. All right, so the winning pitcher is going to be Sonnenstein, started this game. And then the losing pitcher is going to be Cole Hamels. And that's all she wrote. I'm going to send myself the... So that's how you play inside pitch. I showed you a little bit of it. It's a fun game. I ordered the 76 season. So I'm going to put everything away real quick, and I'm bringing Payoff Pitch on the board. Everything is set up. Here goes 1969 Payoff Pitch. So St. Louis is in town at Shea. So Jerry Koosman is going to start it off. We're going to get the ballpark card. Let's see if we can track that down. There it is, Shea Stadium. Oh, no, that's Busch Stadium. We shouldn't have that out. That's fine. There's Shea Stadium. Okay, perfect. Let me move this over a bit so I can get everything in the picture. There. Let's see. Let's move that back a little bit. So, all right. Can you see the picture card? I hope so. Let's change this angle of this so we don't get so much of that. All right, there it goes. We're going to start right away. And for Payoff Pitch, it requires 2 10-sided die and 2 6-sided die. All right, so we got 2 blue. Now we got to find the... Oh, actually, I need a... Yeah, that's not going to... Oh, wait. Yes, I need that. And then I need 2 10-sided die. Here's 1 10-sided die. But I'm going to use a black and a white is what I normally use. Let me just make sure those are 10-sided because I've been known to use 8-sided. Yeah, it's got a 0 there somewhere. There it is. All right, we're going to get started right away. This is 4th game of the season for the Mets. And let's see if we can get some. Yeah. All right. Great. And the Mets, I believe, are 2-1 on the season. All right. Here goes. Jerry Koosman. It's an 8 off Koosman's card, so it becomes. Lou Brock shows his patience at the plate. Don't need this thing. And he's going to show his patience at the plate. Now we're going to roll off Brock. 53 off a lefty. 53 is going to be in the out range, and that's going to be a ground ball hit at the third baseman. And that is Ed Charles over to first. And that's 1 away. All right. Kurt Flood is next. So here's the 6 off Koosman. That's a tough 88 off a lefty. Takes us into the out range, and that's a ground ball hit hard right at the shortstop. Harrelson, he's known for his glove. Throws on the run, and just gets Flood by half a step. Nice play by Buddy Harrelson. And next batter is Vita Pinson. And I didn't do the lineups. It's going to be leading off Brock, batting second is Flood at center field, Pinson in right field batting third, Joe Torre First baseman in the cleanup spot, Shannon at third base, batting fifth, batting sixth. Tim McCarver, the catcher, batting seventh. Julian Javier, the second baseman, batting seventh. Batting eighth is Dal Maxwell, the shortstop, and batting ninth is Steve Carlton. It's Steve Carlton versus Jerry Kuzman in this game, so this is a heck of a game. And Carl is in the house. No problem, my friend. I love talking to you guys. So there's 2 outs, and it's Veda Pinson. He's a left-handed batter. That's a 6, so that's going to be tough. Tough pitch. Let's see what Veda Pinson can do with it. A 56. Tough 56. It only goes up to 49, so that's going to be in the out range, and that's going to be a fly to left field. Left fielder Tommy Agee, he's there. Oh no, it's Cleon Jones. Excuse me, Cleon Jones in left. We'll go over the Mets lineup right now as well. So that's it. So it's 3 up, 3 down for Jerry Kuzman. Now Jerry Kuzman had a tremendous year. He was 17-9 with a 2.28 ERA. He pitched 241 innings, the good old days. It's going to be Steve Carlton. And what I do is I actually protect the pitchers because those are the ones I handle every inning. So I protect the pitchers to keep them nice and clean. Steve Carlton was 17-11 with a 2.17 ERA. So he beat Jerry Kuzman by 11 points. 228 to 217. So this is a heck of a pitcher's matchup. So if you like pitching, this is the game that you should be connected to right now. Yeah, well, that's okay. I'm reading about the cards have changed over time, and plus these are the lefty righty splits. But I don't have a problem with either one. If you gave me just the basic card with no lefty righty splits, I would play it. I don't have a problem. I would make some sort of house rule for a lefty righty split. That happens every so often, but otherwise I wouldn't worry about it. So that sounds great that you have those cards. Those are classic cards. All right, Steve Carlton, Tommy Agee. So we look at Steve Carlton first. That's a 4. That's patient. So Agee shows some patience. Let's see if it pays off. We're looking at the left side, patient, and that's going to be ball 4. So Tommy Agee waits out Carlton, and Carlton doesn't have his early control, and he walks. Tommy Agee. Now, we're going to try to steal with Agee. He had 12 stolen bases, so we're going to roll two dice. We need a 4 or less, and we roll a 6, so he does not get a lead, so he's not going to be going. Steve Carlton against Rod Gasper. So that's a walk. So far, we got a walk, runner on first. All right, and that's going to be a 6, so that's patient again, off Carlton. And we're going to roll 2 10-sided die. It's going to be black first, 58. 58 off patient against a lefty is going to be here is where we pull the cards. You need fast action cards. It says long single into the gap, center field, runners advance, 1 base. That's why this is chartless, because you use the cards. So it's a single, runner moves up, and we got first and second and nobody out here for the Mets. Mets need to score some runs against Carlton, so any chance they get. Now, the consideration here is to bunt, and it'll stay at a B. His bunt rating is a B. We'll use a fast action card for that. I'll show you how to do that. Ken Boswell against lefties batted 226. So you know what? I'm going to have him bunt and put runners on second and third right now, because I need to have play the probabilities and get a guy to third, and maybe he'll score on a sacrifice fly or on a ground ball or something. I don't think they're going to play the infield in the first inning. I doubt that. But I may roll for that just because they're facing such a masterful pitcher, such an intimidating force that Kuzman is. So these are the strategies that you think about. All right, so we're bunting. We're going to use a 1, 2, 3. They bring the infield in. They have a feeling Ken Boswell is going to bunt. And they have a feeling, so he's going to go from a B to a C. And now I'm going to pull a card, fast action card, bunt. It's going to be bunted to the first baseman, Torrey. He's going to throw to Shannon at third, and they get the lead runner. So it's going to be 2-5. A failed sacrifice bunt. It's going to be a fielder's choice, and it's going to be runner out at third, 2-5. All right, so first and second, and now it's Cleon Jones. Now, Cleon Jones had impressive year in 1969. Cleon Jones batted 350. He batted 340 against right-handers and 338 against lefties. So, he had some kind of year in 1969. He was their go-to guy. So, Carlton versus Jones. See what it comes out. It's going to be a 6, so that's patient. So, Jones again takes a couple pitches. That's the wrong thing. Let me move that out of the way. Show some patience, and that's going to be a 15. A 15 patient is going to be ball 4. So Carlton walks Jones to load the bases. So the bases are loaded, and it's going to be Ed Charles. Now, Ed Charles is batting 273, and he's got 1 home run in 11 at-bats. He's driven in 3 runs, so he's got basically a run per game, where this is the 4th game of the season. He's got a good opportunity here to drive in some runs. Bases loaded, bottom of the first, 1 out. Off Carlton, it's a 6. Again, we roll a 6, and it's patient. And it's a 90. Patient 90 is going to be a fly ball to left field, and this is going to give us, because it's in the patient section, it's going to mean that we have an opportunity to score from third base. Our runner on third is Agee. Let's look at his speed. His speed is an 8, which is really an advantage for us. His speed is an 8. The left fielder's arm, who's in left field? Let me see. Who's over there? Rod Gasper. He was, let's see. Who's in left field? Brock. Brock is in left field. V. Lou Brock, right? So his arm is a 6. So that's not too bad. A 6 and an 8. So if we roll 6 or less, we're safe. If we roll between 6 and 8, we have to roll on another chart. If we roll 9 to 12, he's out. See what happens. 2 6-sided die. That's a 9. So the throw to the plate, and they get Agee, and the inning is over. Double play, so it's a fly out. Fly out to Brock, and they're going to tag up, and the throw home in time. The tag, and he's out at home. And it's going to be a double play, so it's going to be an assist 7. And then a put out for the catcher 2. And I think the Mets did the right thing there, trying to score that run. The next batter was, I believe, Ron Swoboda. Pretty good batter, but again, it's just a bad roll. Just a bad roll. What can I say? Just a tough roll for the Mets. All right, Jerry Koosman on the mound. Score 0-0 after 1. Let's see, Koosman. It's a 45. That's a 9. That's a tough out. So this is like an automatic out. And that's a 33. A 33 is going to, tough. 33 would strike out. Strike 3. So Koosman, K's, Torrey, Mike Shannon. We want to roll a lot of 9s. That's a 5. That's in play. In play against a lefty is 16. In play 16, and that's going to be a ground ball up the middle and through for a single. Oh, that was going to be a 33. That was the last play. We're not going to wait. We're going to go back to the last play. We're going to undo the last play because I just looked and I double checked, and it's a pop up. It was a pop up instead of a strikeout. So it's going to be a 30. It's a pop up P3. So it's a pop up. instead of a strikeout, and we're going to correct that. I don't want to give him a strikeout he doesn't deserve. Had it been another out, I wouldn't have cared. But it's going to be a single for Shannon. So Shannon is on with a single. Right, it was an in play, and then we rolled a 16 against a lefty, and that's going to goes all the way up to 30 for Shannon. Mike Shannon batted 260, about 255. Now in the split cards, guys, in the split cards, you're going to have to kind of average out the batting average because it gives you batting average versus lefties and batting average versus righties. That's on the split cards. And Charles is the glider, sir. Tim McCarver. Tim McCarver, genius announcer. If you read Keith Hernandez's book, he says that he kind of was the trailblazer for sports guys, jocks in the broadcasting booth. So that's an 8. That's going to be patient off Kuzmin. Let's see what. Oh, it's a 0-0. The way I play a 0-0 is I play it as a defensive result. So that's how, because a 0-0 has a lot. Oh no, but there's a runner on base. No, when there's a runner on base, I actually play it straight up off the chart. So this is the one time that I have to look at. This is the one time I have to look at the and the Shannon steal bases. Let's see. Now I had one stolen base. So I'm going to look here at the runner on base because this is going to give me pass balls and it's going to give me, I think, wild pitches. So we're going to roll the 2 6-sided die. That's a 10. Hard grounded to third base if runner on second and first base, third base touches the bag at third and throws to second for a force out. I guess that would be a double play there. Second base with A and B range replays to first for a triple play. So this is a potential triple play, right? So re-roll 2d6. If total is higher than the pitcher's hold, oh no, that was a 10. Grounded to third base. If runner on second, there is no runner on second, so there's no. If runner on second and first base, third base touches the bag. He can't touch the bag in this case. So it's just going to be, I guess, a 5-4 fielder's choice. That's what I'm understanding. So I'm not going to worry about it otherwise. So I know it's a grounded third, a 5-4 out at second. All right. And now it's Julian Javier with a runner on first and 2 outs. And that's a 3. That's defense. We're going to pull a defensive card. Potential error to the shortstop. Potential error to the shortstop. We're going to roll. It's a 96. Now, I know because there's no 96 here on error. It goes up to 68. So I know there's no error. So I'm going to pull another card, and it's going to tell me what kind of an out it is. What kind of an out it is to shortstop. It's going to be a ground ball to Harrelson, 6-3, and that is going to retire the side. All right. So Julian Javier grounds out, and it retires the side. We go to Ron Swoboda, who's leading off. It's going to be Swoboda, Grody, and Harrelson in the bottom of the second inning here at Shea Stadium, 1969, April 12th. It's a chilly day. Overcast, 8. That's tough. Tough pitch. So that's a 15. A tough 15 is strike 3. Swoboda strikes out. Carlton fastball blows it by Swoboda. Next is Jerry Grody. That's an 8. That's another tough pitch. A tough 77. And that's going to be a fly ball. Line to center field. Right there is Kurt Flood. He makes the catch. 2 out. And a 7. That's a tough 16. And that's going to be strike 3 on Harrelson. And that retires the side. So Carlton picks up 2 strikeouts in this inning. And we move on to the top of the third inning. Still no score. Now, these are not high-scoring affairs in 1969, and they're easy to play. That's one of the reasons I'm replaying this season Sabota. I like that. Sabota. All right. Jerry Kuzman facing Dal Maxville. Dal Maxville batted one. He's one of those guys, all glove. He was all glove, no hit kind of guys. He batted 170. I don't expect him to be doing too much. Patient, but you never know. 39, a patient 39, and that's a walk. So he walks a 170 hitter. Kuzman does. And we got a run around first. Maxville is not a threat to steal. We got the pitcher coming up. And the pitcher, Carlton, is a B bunter. We know he may bunt. He may not bunt. That's the thing with Carlton. He may bunt or he may not bunt. Let's see, a 10. He's got pretty good hitting numbers here. He even has a home run. So you know what? You don't know that he's going to bunt, but he is. We're going to make him bunt. Well, guess what? A 1, 2, 3, he bunts. Yep, it's a 1. So he is going to bunt. And he's a B bunter. We're going to pull a fast action card. In the bunt, B sacrifice hits ground ball to the second baseman. I'm sorry, it's a bunt. Catcher picks it up, throws him out. And that's a sacrifice hit for Carlton. It's going to be a 2-4 assist catcher. And it's going to be a put out second baseman covering first. So run around second base and 1 out here in the top of the third. Pitch from Kuzman to Lou Brock. That's an 8. That's patient. A patient 0-0. Again, we're going to have to roll on the chart, the rare play chart. So we're going to roll 2 dice, and it's a 3 this time. B, C, D, or F catcher range, unable to block pass ball. So we're going to look at our catcher's range. Jerry Grody should have a decent range. From B to F, his range is a B. So that's going to be a pass ball on Grody because it said, right? What did it say? It said, yep. So it's going to be a pass ball. And pass ball. So runner advances to third now. So now we got to run around third with only 1 out. So this is a big opportunity for Lou Brock. Going to keep the infield back. Tough out. So we rolled what we wanted to roll right there. So this is an automatic out. It's going to be strike 3. Lou Brock takes a low slider on the outside corner, and that's a strike 3. Jerry Kuzman against Kurt Flood. 2 out. Run around third. That's a 6. That's tough. But this could be trouble because even tough, it could be trouble. 76. Nope, it won't be. It's going to be a fly ball. High fly, center field. Running in is Tommy Agee. He's there, puts it away, and that retires the side. So the Cardinals threaten with a runner on third and only 1 out, but they failed to capitalize. And we move on to the bottom half of the third inning. Carlton on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals. He ended his career with the Phillies, and I think after that he went to the Giants. That's what I remember from off the top of my head. So this is a 5. This is going to be a tough pitch. So let's see what Kuzman, the pitcher, can do with it. Nothing. A 98. Tough 98 is strike 3, and Kuzman goes down swinging. Tommy Agee. That's going to be an 11. That's defense. So we're pulling a defensive card, and it's an error third base. Let's see. Error third base. It could be an error third base based on that number. So let's look at the third baseman, Mike Shannon. He's a 2 error rating. A 2 error rating here at Shea, because every stadium is different, is a 1/58 error. We rolled a 35. So that's going to be an error. Let's see what kind of error. Let's pull another card. Third base error. It's going to be a 1 base error. So he basically boots the ball, rolls away from him, and Tommy Agee is at first on an E5. All right, Rod Gasper. Let's see if Tommy Agee he may run. Let's see. He had a few stolen bases. It's an 8, too high. He doesn't get a lead. Here's the pitch for Carlton. That's a 3. That's ballpark. Now, ballpark is 1 to 32 for righties, and we roll way higher than that. So it's going to take us to in play. In play on the left side, 1 to 27 is going to be a hit. Oh, I thought I had it there. 99. That's going to be popped up to the left side, and Shannon under it. And that's going to be, I believe, 2 outs. 2 outs. Runner at first. Here's the pitch to Boswell. That's an 8. That's a tough pitch. Let's see what Boswell can do with it. A 44, a tough 44, and that's going to be strike 3. Inning over. Boswell strikes out. We go to the top of the 4th inning. No score. All right. Jerry Koosman. Let's roll for Koosman. All right, so an 8, and that's going to be patient. Patient for Veda Pinson. 14, that's going to be ball 4. So Pinson walks. I believe that's Koosman's second walk. And Pinson, is he a threat to steal? At 4 stolen bases. Probably, let's see. Nope, does not go. Joe Torre. Joe Torre batted 290. That's a 3. That's defense. We're going to pull a card. See what happens here. It's going to be a range second base. Range second base. It's a 67. 67, and range goes up to 60. So it's going to be a ball he gets to, but how does he get to it? It's an out second base. It's going to be, if he's an A or a B range, and Boswell is not an A or B range, it would be a double play. Otherwise, it's a grounder, runner advances. So it's a ground ball, runner advances. And we'll check Boswell just in case, because I'm still learning these cards. Just started this. This is game 4. Boswell is an F range, so he would have been all the way to 60, but we rolled a 67. All right, so that's how you minimize lookups, and you don't have to write everything down in this game. Pretty much a chartless game. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know he played. I know he went to the Giants after the Phillies, but then he also went to the Indians and 2 others after that. Okay, he would not give up. I mean, he kept on believing in himself, I guess. He was that type of guy. Mike Shannon. Mike Shannon, what did he do earlier? He singled in his first at bat in the 2nd inning. That's a 6. That's tough. Tough pitch by Koosman. He throws a lot of those. 28, a tough 28. And that's going to be strike 3, inning over. Oh, no, out number 2, excuse me. 2 outs, and Tim McCarver. That's a 4. That's tough. A tough 0-7, and that's another strikeout. Back-to-back Ks, and the inning is over. Steve Carlton against Jones, Charles, and Sabota. That's a 6 off Carlton. That's a patient. We've been rolling a lot of those. A patient 32 is going to be a walk. So Jones walks. We're going to try to get a lead and try to run. That's a 12. So that's a potential pickoff. So it's going to be a walk. Let's get that down in there. It's going to be a walk. And then it's a potential pickoff. 1 to 19, it's some sort of pickoff. We roll a 51. He gets back safely. I've got that memorized. Ed Charles now. Now, Ed Charles had 40 strikeouts in 200 at-bats. So probably not going to probably not going to hit and run with him. All right, here goes 7. That's tough. A tough 81. Tough 81 is going to be a ground ball to shortstop. And anything less than an 8 is going to be a double play. It's a 9, so it's not going to be. It's going to be a fielder's choice. 6-4, no throw to first as Cleon Jones barrels into the second baseman, Javier, and breaks up the potential double play in the days when you could do that, right? Can't do that anymore. Can't barrel into the guy trying to break it up. You got to slide into the bag and so on and so forth. Ron Swoboda. Run on first is Charles, 1 out. That's a 9. That's in play. An in play 97. That's going to be an out for sure. That's going to be a fly to left for out number 2. And it's Jerry Grody. Roll a 6. Again, that's patient. On Grody, 0-2. A patient 0-2 is going to be a walk. So Grody manages a base on balls against Carlton. And we have runners on first and second with 2 outs. Buddy Harrelson. Buddy Harrelson batted about 250, about 250. That's a 7. That's tough. Tough pitch. Let's see what Harrelson can do with it. A tough 18. Can't do anything with it. Blows it right by Harrelson for another strikeout to end the inning. This is his 4th strikeout. 5th strikeout. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th strikeout of the game. Strikes out Harrelson, a guy who's not easy to strike out. We go to the top of the 5th inning now. Still no score in this game. So you tuned in for a pitcher's duel, and guess what you're getting? Jerry Koosman versus Steve Carlton, 1969. Either of these guys could have won the Cy Young. I'm not sure who won the Cy Young in 1969, but these guys have tremendous ERAs and an excellent record. Koosman was 17-9 with a 2.28 ERA. 7. So that's in play. And Julian Javier, that's an in play 96 against a lefty. An in play 96, that's going to be a fly to shallow left field. Out there is Cleon Jones and makes the catch. 1 away. Dal Maxville. That's a 10. That's a tough pitch. And that's a 13. A tough 13 is strike 3. Blows it by Maxville for out number 2. And that's Koosman's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th strikeout of the game. And now it's the pitcher, Steve Carlton, who can hit. That's a 7. That's in play 24. An in play 24. And that's going to be a ground ball up the middle and through into center. Oh, no, my mistake. It's going to be a line drive, and it's caught by the shortstop, Harrelson. And that, my friend, retires the side after 4.5, no score. And you score that as an L6. Leading off the bottom of the 5th is Jerry Koosman. Roll 2 dice for the pitcher. That's a 10. It's a tough 45. A tough 45 against Koosman, who's a one-hitting pitcher. And that's going to be a strikeout. So Koosman goes down swinging for out number 1. Strikeout number, what did I say? 6, I believe, right? 5, 6, yep. For Carlton here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. That's a 5. That's going to be a tough pitch. See if Tommy Agee can do something with that. That's a 66, a tough 66, and it's going to be strikeout. So he gets 2 consecutive Ks. So Carlton is getting stronger as we go, and it's Rod Gasper. That's a 12. That's patient. A patient 73 against a lefty, and that's going to be a fly ball center field. Back goes the center fielder, Flood, and he runs it down. That retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for Carlton. We go to the top of the 6th inning. It's going to be the top of the order, Lou Brock, Kurt Flood, and Veda Pinson. Yes, when pitchers rule, 9, tough out. So this is what you want to roll on Koosman. So this is an automatic out. It may be a strikeout or an out of some kind. 33 is going to be a strikeout. So Koosman picks up his 5th strikeout of the game. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th strikeout. That's correct. Kurt Flood. Kurt Flood is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flied out. That's a 7 in play. See what this is going to become, a 51. An in play 51 is an out. It goes up to 40. So a 51 is going to be a ground ball to the third baseman, Charles. Charles fires to first and gets the hustling Flood by half a step. Next is Veda Pinson. Pinson is walked, flied out, and walked. That's a 7. That's in play. An in play 14 is going to be a line drive base hit to right, and right fielder Swoboda plays it on a hop, gets it into Boswell. Pinson is not a base stealer, but he had 4 stolen bases, so we'll try to roll, and nothing. Joe Torre. Now, Joe Torre hit 18 home runs, batted .290. So, I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with St. Louis. St. Louis had a pretty good record. St. Louis, I don't have their record up, unfortunately, but they had a pretty decent record. I think they won about 87 games off the top of my head. But you can check me on that stat. All right, Jerry Koosman to Joe Torre with a runner on first and 2 outs. That's a 4. A 4 is a tough pitch. See what he does with a tough pitch. 37, tough 37. And here's where you flip. It's going to be a line drive single into left with 2 outs. Pinson is going to hustle over to third. So that the 2 outs overrides whatever it says in the card. The card said move up 1 base. It's going to be a single to left, and runner moves to oh, wait, I didn't do that. Man, I got to undo because I screwed up there. Runner moves to third. Let me do that again. Single. Oh. Single, runner moves to third because there's 2 outs. And it's first and third, 2 outs, and Mike Shannon. So Cardinals are threatening here in the top of the 6th inning against Jerry Koosman. See if Jerry Koosman can get out of this jam. That's a 5. That's an in-play roll. That's a 61. An in-play 61 against a lefty is going to be a fly ball line to right field, and the right fielder gets there, Swoboda, and that, my friend, retires the side. So they threatened, the Cardinals threatened, but failed again to capitalize on a situation that potentially could have scored them a run. All right, so we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. There's still no score, 0-0. Carlton versus Koosman. That's an 8. That's a tough pitch. See what Cleon Jones, Mets' best hitter, can do. A tough 78, and that's going to be a pop-up to the shortstop. And shortstop Maxville calls for it, makes the catch. Ed Charles. That's a 3. That's a ballpark. Going to roll. A ballpark 0-3 because that's going to put it in Charles's wheelhouse. So he may be able to crank this out on a 1-23. Be a home run on a 1-23 up to 39. It's going to be some sort of hit. 0-0. And now, does this override the roll on Ed Charles for a home run? It does. It does. And we have to go to the rare play chart. We're going to roll on that. And that's going to be a 5. Reroll 2d6. Or if equal or higher to the pitcher's hold rating, it's a balk. And runner advances 1 base. Okay, so the pitcher's hold rating is a 7. So basically, reroll to, if it's higher than a 7, it's a balk. Let's see what we roll. Higher than a 7, runner goes to, oh, there's no runner. There's no balk. Okay, that can't happen. All right, so otherwise, no balk called, reroll, and use in play. Okay, we're going to reroll and use in play on Charles's card. And that's going to be a 23, and a 23 is a line shot right at Maxville. So it's a line out, and that's going to be out number 1. Excuse me, I think it's out number 2. Let's double check that. Yeah, out number 2. So 2 outs. Wait a second. That should have been, I made a mistake there. Hold on a second. I made a mistake in this inning. I'm going to go back. I had, for some reason, I had the team out of order. I started off with okay. Yeah, my mistake. I got to redo this inning. Sorry, guys. Boswell's up. Let me redo this real quick. I misplayed it. It wasn't a pop-up. Okay, so Ken Boswell. Let's see. Steve Carlton versus Ken Boswell. It's an 11. That's defense. Let's pull a card. That says potential error second base. That's a 59. It could be a potential error if he's a 2. Second baseman is Javier. Javier is an E1, so it is going to be an error. What kind of an error? Let's find out. Error second base. It's a one-base error, so he boots the ball, and we have a base runner. Ken Boswell reaches on E4. First on error, E4. All right, so Boswell is on at first. Steve Carlton, the pitch. That's in play to Cleon Jones. And that's a 64, in play 64. And that's going to be a ground ball second base, a potential double play. We're looking at 6 or less for a double play, and it's a 5. So it's a 4-6-3 double play. And that ends the inning. Ground ball double play, 4-6-3, batter out. 2 outs, excuse me. 2 outs. All right, so Ed Charles. That's a 9. It's in play for Charles. In play 82 is going to be a ground ball shortstop over to first, and that retires the side. So we go to the top of the 7th, still no score. Jerry Koosman on the mound against Tim McCarver. That's a 10. 10 is tough pitch. See what McCarver can do with it. Not much. A 97. Fly out to right. Out there is Veda Pinson. Makes the catch. Went away. Julian Javier. That's an 8. Patient. A patient 28, and that's going to be a ball that's driven in the gap, and that's going to split the outfielders. After it is Agee hustling around first and into second base with a stand-up double is Julian Javier. So, man in scoring position here in the top of the 7th for the Cardinals, and it's Dow Maxville. That's an 8. Patient. A patient 11. That's going to be ball 4. So runners on first and second now with 1 out. And we get to the situation, do we pinch hit for Carlton? Nah. Do we bunt for Carlton? Nah, because he's a pretty good hitter. He's got potential to hit a home run. Pretty decent potential. So Carlton's going to bat. That's a 5-3. We are going to play the third base in and first base in on this. Halfway for the middle infielders, just because he may bunt. So this could be a potential. If it's hit to the third baseman or first baseman, it could be a potential hit because of range factor. So that's an 8. That's patient again. That's not what we want to roll right now. Okay, it's a patient 80. A patient 80 against a lefty is going to be a ground ball to shortstop. This is a potential double play. We need to roll 9 or less. And that's a 10. So it's a fielder's choice. 6-4 for out number 2. Fielder's choice. Harrelson to Boswell. All right, so it should be runners on first and third now. On third base is Julian Javier. On first base is Steve Carlton. And it's Lou Brock. So it's 0-0 with runners on first and third and 2 outs. Koosman to Brock. Lefty on lefty. Let's see who's going to win this battle. That's a 12. That's wheelhouse. So 1-43 is going to be a hit on Brock. And we rolled a 0-3. That's a deep drive to right field. Back goes Swoboda to the track, to the wall. That's out of here. 3-0 Cardinals. Lou Brock connects off Jerry Koosman in the top of the 7th inning to give the Cardinals a 3-0 lead. Holy smokes, not what we expected. So Lou Brock comes up huge, and I'm sure Keith Hernandez would love that because that's one of his favorite guys. All right, 3-0 in the top of the seventh. Kuzman gives up a 3-run home run to Lou Brock with 2 outs. And next is Kurt Flood. That's a 9. That's a tough out. So this is an automatic out. The question is whether it's a strikeout or not. And it is not a strikeout. It's a fly ball, deep right field. Back goes Swoboda. He's there, makes the catch. And that, my friend, retires the side. But the Mets are down. Cardinals pick up 3 runs. And they lead at 3-0 with Carlton on the mound. So this is going to be tough. Ron Swoboda against Carlton. Swoboda is 0 for 2. He struck out and flied out. This is a 4 patient. A patient 76, and that's going to be a fly ball center field, high fly. In comes Flood. Back goes Javier. Flood called him off, makes the catch. Jerry Grody, tough pitch. 58, a tough 58, and that's going to be a ground ball to second base. Javier flips to Torrey, 2 away. And Buddy Harrelson. Patient 63, and that's going to be a ground ball second base again. And that retires the side. So Mets have only 1 hit in this game. Yep, 1 hit. Holy smokes. Jerry Kuzman still in there against Veda Pinson. That's a 5. That's in play. So Veda Pinson puts it in play somewhere. 82. And that's going to be a pop-up to second base. Boswell calls for it, makes the catch. Joe Torre now. Torre is 1 for 3. That's an 11. That's ballpark. We're going to have to roll. He's a righty. A 29 righty is going to be wheelhouse. So this is 1 to 40, a home run for Torre. 1 to 40 is a home run for Torrey. 1 to 58 is a hit of some kind. 0-1, that's a deep drive left field. Back goes Cleon Jones to the track, to the wall. That's gone. 4-0. Cardinals. Joe Torre sends one over the left field wall for a 4-0 lead. And you know what? Kuzman wishes he had that pitch back. Jerry Kuzman. 7 in play to Mike Shannon. 82. In play 82. That's popped up. This time the shortstop Harrelson's calling for it. And he's got it. Out number 2. Tim McCarver. 2 outs. Top of the 8th. 4-0. Cardinals. That's 3. Defense. We're going to pull a defensive card, guys. That's how you do this. Range check on the first baseman. But I'm just going to roll first because range goes up to 60. I roll an 88, so he's going to get it. Just depends on what kind of an out it is. If it's to the first baseman, my house rule is to line out to first base because otherwise you'll never get those. So that ball is lined and caught by who's the first baseman for the Mets? Who's playing first base for the Mets? I just had a brain fart. Boswell, Jones, Ed Charles. I don't even know who's playing first base. Let me check the defense. Oh, line out to first base. Defense. I got to check the defense. First baseman. Oh, Cleon Jones is at first. Ron Swoboda's in left. Okay. All right. So I've been calling it wrong the whole game. But I've seen that happen anyway. In real life, I've seen that happen. All right. So it's the bottom of the 8th. It's going to be the pitcher spot. We're going to get a pinch hitter. Pinch hitter for the Mets. Pinch hitter is going to be against the left. He's going to be Amos Otis. Amos Otis is going to pinch hit. All right, here's the pitch from wait a second. I have to move this over. All right, I think I rolled, but I'll roll again because I don't remember. Okay, 4. That's patient. Patient 69. Yep. Patient 69 against a lefty is a fly ball center field. Pounds a glove, makes the catch. 1 away. Tommy Agee. That's a 6 patient. Agee on a patient is a 54 as a walk. So Agee walks, runner on first. 4-0 Cardinal lead. You can see the fans starting to file out slowly but surely. Rod Gasper. A 7, that's a tough. Oh, let's leave that there, 7. You can always double check. Tough 92 is a fly ball, shallow left. In comes Brock. Makes the catch. Cleon Jones. Oh, nope. Boswell. Kenny Boswell. 2 outs. Runner on first. That's a 7. That's going to be a tough pitch to Boswell. A 24, a tough 24. That's a strikeout. Inning over. Okay, pinch hitter was inserted. I got to put in a new pitcher. It's going to be Cal Coons. Cal Coons is going to come in. And he's going to face Javier. New pitcher, Coons, bats 9. Okay. All right, here goes. That's a 7 in play. In play 56, he's a righty now. In play 56 is a fly ball to right. 1 out. Down Maxville is next. Maxville's walked twice in this game and struck out. That's snake eyes. That's a patient. So he can walk again. 36. That's going to be ball 4. So he's walked 3 times. 170 hitter walks 3 times. And then that's why we're losing this game. Carlton is up. He's going to just swing away. That's an 8 in play. Carlton a 48. An in play 48 is a ground ball to third base. This may be a double play. It's a 9 and a 9. So anything 9 or less, it's a double play. It's a 9. It is a double play. 6-4-3. Double play. And that is all she wrote for this inning. Ground ball double play. 6-4-3. Yep. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Mets are down 4-0, unfortunately, thanks to Lou Brock and then later Joe Torre. 2 pretty impressive names. Just uttering those names makes me kind of wows me, right? Steve Carlton is going for a complete game, 1 hitter. Cleon Jones facing Cleon Jones, the best hitter on the Mets. Patient, and we just don't roll good for the Mets. 98, you can't get any higher than that. A patient 98 is a high fly down the line in left field, and right there is Brock for out number 1. Squeezes it. Ed Charles so far today is flied out into a fielder's choice and grounded out. That's a 4. Again, a patient opportunity. That's a 57, a patient 57, and that's going to be fly ball right field. 2 out. Mets are down to their last out. Ron Swoboda. Ron Swoboda played left field today. I was not aware. I thought he was in right field. I've been calling the left field and right field. So Jones moved to in right field. We have Gasper. In left field, we have Swoboda. And then at first base, we had Cleon Jones. Cleon Jones plays a lot of left field. Tough pitch on Ron Swoboda against a lefty. A tough 57, and that's going to be strike 3, game over. And that's his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeout of the game. Steve Carlton pitches a gem and shuts out the Mets by a score of 4-0. And that really sucked because it was an exciting game until Lou Brock connected for that 3-run home run, and that took the sails out of the Mets. So we're going to export all these stats we're using. Oh, it has not been assigned this game. Okay, let's finish up this game. End game. The win is going to go to Carlton. The loss is going to go to Kuzman at Shea Stadium. That's it for that. And now we're going to update the lineups. Create this team. STL. St. Louis. Home field. St. Louis Busch Stadium. Let's write that in. Busch Stadium. Boom. Okay. Oh, I had them in the American League. All right, whatever. Doesn't matter. I could change it next time. And that's it, guys. So game over. Final score, St. Louis 4, Mets 1. Carlton pitches a one-hitter, a masterpiece. So you listen to a masterpiece pitching performance by Steve Carlton, who was 17-11 with a 2.17 ERA, and he showed us exactly why. And we're going to look at the next game now, and we're going to start planning that out. It's going to be game 2 of the 3-game set, a Saturday game. And this Saturday game is going to be a day game. And it's going to be Dave Justy against Don Cardwell. So we're going to pull Don Cardwell. Don Cardwell, we're going to protect him. And he's going to face Dave Justy. Let me pull Dave Justy. Let me see if I can find here they are. Let's see what Dave Justy looks like. And I will set that up. I will take a break, and I will come back, and I will broadcast this next game 2. See if the Mets can pick up a win at some point. Dave Justy was 3-7 with a 3.61 ERA. Had 12 games started. He actually started this one against the Mets. Don Cardwell started 21 games, was 8-10 with a 3.01 ERA. It should be a decent game. 2 decent pitchers, not great. Mets have a little bit of an advantage if you're looking at just ERAs. 0.6 home runs against Justy, 0.9 home runs against Cardwell. So, we don't know who has the advantage right there. So anyway, that's going to be the next pitching matchup, and I'm going to take off for a little while, and I will be back with another live stream of the Mets Cardinals April 1969 series. The Cardinals are up 1-0 so far. We want the Mets to come back and to at least tie it up and start getting some wins under their belt. I'm not sure of their record. I have to take a look at their record. I believe it's not sure. It may be 2-2 or 1-3. I have to see. I'm not totally sure right now. But they're not hitting at all. I think they've been one hit 2 consecutive times. So that's it for now. CP Cards and Dice. We'll be back in a little while with another stream of the St. Louis Cards, New York Mets. So long.